Welcome everyone, I'm Lottie, your local magical girl with a slight gacha addiction, just a slight gacha addiction. I hope everyone has been well lately. We're going to continue with Hakuoki. Red, welcome! Thanks for stopping by! We're going to continue with Hakuoki on Okita's route, I believe chapter 2. No news of my father came forth the other day, and somber restlessness took hold of me. Okita's route is one of my top 5 routes in Otome. Ooh, top 5 in all of Otome? That's really good. I originally played his route years ago when I really first got into Otomes, when I got my Vita. But honestly, I can't really remember anything because my memory is honestly not that good from years ago. So hopefully I can enjoy his route again, playing it for technically my second time. Originally, it seemed Hijikata granted me approval to accompany the captains on their rounds to Kyoto to search for my dad. Then he called me in. Excuse me. I saw Okita, Heisuke, and Heisuke had been summoned along with me, and I felt a partial sense of relief. It did a little to calm my chattering nerves, and I didn't want to be in a bad spot with Hijikata. You called me? Hijikata seemed to be in a foul mood, so I decided it was best to act with tact in his presence.
お前の行動さん探しの件だがな。しばらく様子を見ようと思う。
Oh? What for? What? But why? We just started looking for him. Stopping now would surely cause any of our leads to run dry. His words stunned me. How could he back out on this? Hijikata remained deeply composed.
長州の連中が不穏な動きを見せている。本来ならお前を外に出せる
Alright,
時期じ
for
ゃな
our
い。
safety? I've heard how the warriors of the Choshu domain associated with the Imperial Nationalist Party. For some reason, they find foreigners repulsive, using brute force to prevent any foreign presence. All of their faith is aligned with the Emperor. The Shinsengumi, on the other hand, serve the Shogun, meaning they are directly opposed. If the Choshu is active, it will mean that my own goal is of little concern to the Shinsengumi. I might become something of a burden to them. So, are you asking me to refrain from joining rounds until things with the Choshu domain settle? Hijikata nodded and turned towards the two men.
というわけで、今日からこいつを巡察に連れて行くのが取りやめだ。
Bro, for real. So can I just sneak out? That seems like a viable option.
なるほどね。だから当番の俺らが呼ばれたってわけか。
Heisuke seemed 2 steps behind Hijikata's words until this very moment where it seemed to click.
でも今までだってこいつが巡察に迷惑をかけたこともないし、別にいいんじゃないかな。
Well, it's for our safety. Honestly, I probably would have stayed inside. Like, you guys handle it yourself.
そうそう。僕たちに何かあっても関わらないようにしてくれればそれでいいし。どさくさに紛れて逃げ出すこともないし。ね。
I won't run. That stupid smile on his face. The little smirk with the eyebrows lifted. I hate it, but I love it at the same time. I know he wasn't being serious, but I couldn't stand to keep my mouth shut. I made up my mind the minute the men of the Shinsengumi agreed to help me find my father. I made a vow to never run from the Shinsengumi for as long as they could help me find my father. My desire to find my father showed no signs of slowing, even since I first arrived in Kyoto. I will keep my vow. So please allow me to continue looking for my father. I bowed to Okita, keeping my eyes locked with his. His smirk, however, shrunk slowly as he gazed towards me, caught in between 2 words to say. Hmm?
危険を承知でついてくるって言うなら、僕の一番組に同行してくれて構わないよ。
I don't think I got a choice.
それに、行動さんらしい人を見たっていう証言もあるしね。
確かにそういう証言もある。だが、危険だと分かってるところにミスミス出すこともねえだろう。分かってるのか？お前らの足を引っ張りかねねえんだぞ。
I promise I won't cause any trouble. Please. If I lose the opportunity to search for my father, then the chances of finding him will sink. I lied prostrate before him, and Hijikata simply sighed heavily.
市中を巡察する組長の指示には必ず従え。いいな。
Yes, of course. Thank you so much. I didn't know how else to show my gratitude, so I bowed deeply again.
行くか行かないかはお前が好きに判断しろ。
Alright. I had to make sure this was the best decision. There was something in his demeanor that made me unsure of my desire to leave the compound. Still, if I was with Okita or Heisuke, I'm sure I'd be safe and well protected. On the other hand, my presence could be an undue burden to them. What was I to do? We gotta search for our dad, y'all. Alright. Huh. It feels like there are more people walking around than usual. The streets of Kyoto were packed with people, shuffling into the shops and businesses all over.
土方さんの反対を押し切って巡察に同行してるんだってこと忘れないでね。
Sorry, I was distracted by all of the people. The city is filled with so much more cheer. I guess I just couldn't help myself. Okita's eyes twinkled and he smiled voraciously, and I could sense him relaxing.
まあ祇園祭りも近いしね。街が浮き立ってるのは僕も否定しないけど。でも上位派老士たちの動きが怪しいのは本当だから。僕たちから離れて勝手に動くのだけはなしね。
Alright, understood, understood. We walked down Kyoto's largest street, alongside the First Division. No one came within a few yards of us. They stepped away the moment their eyes caught the bright blue of the Shinsengumi's jackets. I noticed this phenomenon briefly when I first joined the Shinsengumi on their rounds, but it was clear the people of Kyoto feared them. Excuse me? I paused every so often to ask some of the less intimidated passerby if they'd seen my father. I'm looking for someone. He's in his 40s and speaks with an Edo accent. He's a doctor and he's a friendly, bald man. After a few hours of searching, I met someone who claimed to see a man matching my description.
そんな雰囲気の人ならしばらく前にそこのマス屋さんで見かけたよ。
As he spoke, he pointed toward a store selling wood and charcoal. Thank you so much. Okita caught my eye and gave me a stern look. He looked as if he was going to reprimand me when...
貴様ら浪人か。手取りなら判明を答えろ。
Can we not? The cry came from a Shinsengumi soldier, and Okita turned. His lips tightened into a thin lie.
ああ。よりにもよってこんなところで騒ぎを起こすなんてね。
Bro, I love the harsh look in his eyes, like he's really about to slice someone's neck. It could be mine, honestly. His hand dropped to his sword as he ran toward the commotion. Townsfolk shrieked and ran like leaves before a gale. Huh? In the sudden press of fleeing citizens, I found myself pulled away from Okita. For a moment, I panicked, but realized that perhaps it was the best. If I stayed close, he would have been forced to keep attention on me. I hoped to avoid distracting him. I hid in an alley to watch, and I could return to the First Division once the tension simmered.
坊ちゃん、そこの坊ちゃん。巻き込まれんよう、うちの店へ入りや。
Ooh, a nice person? Someone actually helpful and hopefully won't betray me? Huh? I paused for a moment. A strange man was inviting me into a store. Not strange on the face of it, perhaps, but I was warned many times to be on my guard. I was about to politely refuse when I realized it was the store to which the man pointed earlier. Excuse me, but is this Masu's?
へえ、そうどす。
Great, you see, I'm looking for someone and...
キエモンさん、このガキ、さっきまで新選組の沖田と一緒にいたぜ。
Oh, can we not? Can we not? Huh? I'm not of the Shinsengumi.
新選組だと逃げろ。
God damn it, Okita, he inadvertently messed up with the search. No, it's not like that. I'm just looking for someone. Even if I had been walking with them, the reaction of the store's customers seemed excessive.
君って本当に運がないよね。ある意味こいつらも僕もだけど。
He gave a small, unconcerned shrug and leapt through the door of the shop. Monsters exploded with the clang of blades, and men swearing and scrambling across furniture. What is the meaning of this? What on earth just happened? When we returned to the Shinsengumi headquarters, Sonan had a number of less than pleasant words. We knelt for some time as the colonel berated us before Okita finally spoke up.
そんなに怒ることないじゃないですか。僕たちは長州の患者を捕ま
I
えて
love
きたわけ
Murderkibo
だし
so much, and I think this is the role he did the best in. Murderkibo is such a good voice actor, honestly. His voice just has something in it that's so recognizable and really great. I love him so much too. Honestly, anything with him in it, I'm there. When the fight was over, we discovered a massive arms cache and confiscated the entire thing. No one bothered to explain to me what was happening, however, and I was utterly lost.
怒ることではない。沖田君は面白いことを言いますね。マスやキエモンと身分を偽っている人間は長州の患者である古高俊太郎だった。
Okay, so no wonder the reactions were like that. That's why it was excessive for a reason. Okay.
我々新選組はその事実を知った上で彼を泳がせていた。
Oh, okay. Alright. So they knew who he was this whole time. They were just waiting for more info.
その通りですけど。でも捕まえるしかない状況だった。
Ah, so he basically messed up the operation?
まあ、掃除の言う通り、ある意味では大手柄だろうな。でも古高を泳がせるために頑張ってた島田君や山崎君に悪いと思わないわけ？
The corners of Heisuke's mouth twitched into a smile, but Shimada interrupted him to continue.
東堂君のお気持ちもありがたいですが、我々のことはあまり気にしないでください。自分らも古高に対して手詰まりでしたから。
Hello, sir. I'm loving this look, honestly. I love the little short hair with the forehead showing, honestly, and the nice slanted eyes. Delicious. Yamazaki nodded in silent agreement.
古高捕獲はすでに済まされた事柄です。その結果に不満を述べるつもりはありません。
お前ら首相な奴らだね。それに引き換え掃除は。
It didn't seem Nagakura was going to let Okita get away without rubbing his mistake in his face. Both Kai Shimada and Susumu Yamazaki serve as Shinsengumi officers and spies under Hijikata. Aside from the captains who stay in the Yagi residence, they are some of the few people entrusted with the knowledge of my situation. In other words, these men are highly valued officers within the organization. Despite their resounding support, I felt a rush of guilt sweep over me and I spoke up. I'm so sorry. It's all my fault. Some Ronin were causing trouble, so I tried to get out of the way. I got separated from Okita in the crowd, and I didn't go right back to him. Before I really realized what was going on, someone just started shouting at me. They're really saying it's all Okita's fault. He glared at me, his eyes hard and angry, and my throat tightly clenched into dryness. I am so sorry, Sanan. When I first met him, Sanan had been nice, if a little quiet. After his injury, however, right, he was injured. I was trying to remember if it was him who was injured. It looks like he has a bit of a temper now. It was as if he became an entirely different man.
外出を許可したのは俺だ。 こいつらばかり責めないでやってくれ。
Sana looked up as Hijikata walked into the room. He gave the commander a tight, wry smile, but only got a peaceful, impartial glance in return.
土方さんが来たってことは、古高の拷問も終わったのか？
ああ、風の強い日を選んで京の都に火を放ち、あわよくば天皇を長州へ連れ出す。それが奴らの目的だ。
His voice was calm and measured, but we all felt the import of his words.
町に火を放つだ？長州のやつら、頭のネジが緩んでるんじゃねえの？
Isn't that what actually happened in history? Wasn't Okita like in a building that was caught on fire? I think so, because a whole bunch of animes with Okita always reference that, because it was a big part of his life, wasn't it? Hold on. See, let me Google real quick. Okita Soji and just the way it has Fate first out of all things, because Okita is kind of popular in Fate. No, I don't want Okita with. Okay, come on. Let me put history after, because it keeps on giving me the Okita and Fate. Okita Soji. Shinsengumi. Yeah, I'll look this up later, because it keeps on giving me Okita from Fate. Fate always takes over history.
それ単に天使様を誘拐するってことだろ？そんなとか言ってるくせにやることはめちゃくちゃだよな。
何にせよ見過ごせるものではない。
奴らの会合は今夜行われる可能性が高い。お前たちも出動準備を整えておけ。
承知しました、副長。
よっしゃ、腕が鳴るぜ。
Even though each man displayed his professionalism differently, they were all clearly prepared. As they quieted down, Hijikata turned toward me as if he had only just noticed my presence.
それから行動さんの件だ。西国の者と一緒にマスヤに来たことがあるらしい。
Huh?
今日で見たっていう話は本当だったってことだ。
My father was someone from the West? But my father went missing in Kyoto. How would he be with someone from the West? But no one had an answer for me. Alright. Nighttime? Preparations for the raid began immediately. Within moments, the compound was like a beehive, with soldiers and officers running back and forth. The tension felt thick enough to cut with a knife. Ahaha. I found it affecting me despite my best efforts. My encounter at Masu's created some of their current headache, and I hope to make up for it. Hey, can I... Oh. It became clear to me that I had very little to offer when it came to preparing for a raid. At the end of the day, all I could do was stay quietly to the side to avoid being a burden. Just then, I heard someone's voice out of the blue.
動ける大使が足りていない。近藤さんの隊は10名で動くそうだ。
俺ら土方さんの隊は24人だったか。大使の半分が腹痛って笑えねえよな。
That's right. There were a handful of men who were bedridden from a swift food poisoning epidemic, leaving them short-handed in battle. They planned on dividing the troops in half. Kondo's troops would go to Ikeda Inn, and Hijikata's troops will head to the Shikoku Inn. Ikeda Inn? Okay, I'm trying to remember. I don't know that much of a history. All I really know is what I got from anime and what I tried to research.
そういえば、あいつらは使わないのか。夜の任務だし、うってつけだと思うんだ。
Them? Oh, I already knew. Them?
お前らが減らしたけど、まだ何人か残ってるはずだろ。
しばらく実戦から遠ざけるらしい。調整に手間取っていると聞いたが。
This is probably something I shouldn't actually be listening to. It feels like it. The way there is so vague about the conversation. I'm not supposed to be listening into it. And it's vague for a purpose. For a purpose? For a reason?
俺たちの指示も聞かずに狂われてはたまらん。
Mm. This probably connects to those three guys at the very beginning of, not the beginning of the prologue, but in the prologue that the Shinsengumi had to take out. And that's probably, I'm starting to see some connections here. What? I swore I heard something before about a reaction to blood. This was something I was not supposed to hear. Pretend, please pretend. We didn't hear a single damn thing. I would be sitting in the corner just twiddling my thumbs. I didn't hear a single thing. The two men hadn't realized I was listening to their conversation. Please don't ever realize it. But it was crucial that I don't say anything.
奴らも浮かばれねえな。戦うために選んだ道だろうに。
3、浮かばれないという表現は死んだ者に対して使うものだろう。
ああ、表向きは死んだことになってるが、本当は死んじゃいないしな。むしろめったなことじゃ死なねえし。
There is no doubt that what I was hearing was not meant for my ears. Making it so obvious! I shoved my fingers into my ears and closed my eyes tightly. The best I could do was make sure I didn't hear anything else. That's the most obvious childish thing I've ever seen. Bro, just imagine them walking over, like, what the hell is she doing?
雪村君、こんなところで何をしているのかね。
My eyes flew open to see Kondo in front of me. I couldn't just sit there. I told him the truth, how I felt so useless. I left my room to find some way to help.
なるほどな。君の気持ちはよくわかる。打ち入り前で皆も高揚しているしな。
Yes. Excited? More like bloodthirsty, to be honest.
どうかね。君も一緒に来るか。
Me? Can I even go? Huh? That was not what I expected him to say. You mean go on a raid with you? I don't know what I could...
実は腹を壊して動けない大使が多くてな。人手が足りんのだ。伝令役になってもらえるとありがたいんだが。もちろん君に無理はさせん。
Do messengers get killed? I know there's the whole saying, don't shoot the messenger. Can someone not shoot or stab me if I'm the messenger, please? You raise a good point. Now that he mentioned it, I did remember hearing that Kondo's troops only had 10 people in it. Well, alright, if I'll just be a messenger. His face split into a grin, and I found myself on the way to the Ikeda Inn to accompany their raid. Kondo's presence was relieving, and his good nature gave me comfort in asking him a question. Kondo? Your uniform is different than the one your other men wear. The Shinsengumi's unique light blue uniform made it so anyone in Kyoto would recognize them. However, Kondo's uniform was white, almost cream, setting him apart from his men.
これか？暗いところに押し入った時にすぐに仲間だとわかるようにな。
I see. I didn't know the corpse uniform came in so many varieties. Their usual uniform was well-fitting, and the color stood out, but this white uniform was more elegant. I smiled by looking at his uniform, and I braced myself for what was to come. Hour of the Dog. After we arrived at Ikeda, I was sent off on several short errands nearby. I returned to hear Nagakura talking to Okita.
こっちが当たりか。まさか長州藩邸のすぐ裏で。
Oh, him with his tits out. Honestly, it's so good with the nice thick neck, some shoulders, and nice titties.
僕は最初からこっちだと思ってたけど、奴らは今までも頻繁に池田屋を使ったし。
だからって古高が捕まった晩にわざわざ普段と同じ場所で集まるか？普通は場所を変えるだろう。常識的に考えて。
じゃあ奴らには常識がなかったんだね。実際こうして池田屋で会合してるわけだし。
Nagakura and Okita's conversation was very light-hearted, which didn't quite suit the subject matter. Perhaps the Koshi were trying to trick the Shinsengumi. I certainly wouldn't have known. Whatever the reason for their behavior, however, neither Nagakura nor Okita seemed worried. Heisuke noticed me as I approached and jogged over.
どうだった？会津藩とか諸次第の役人まだ来てなかった。
To be honest, I didn't really see anyone nearby.
日暮れ頃にはとっくに連絡してたってのに、まだ動いてないとか何やってんだよ。
落ち着けよ、平助。
The larger man smacked Heisuke playfully on the shoulder with a bark of laughter.
あんな奴ら役に立たねえんだから、来ても来なくても一緒だろ。
だけどさ、新八さん。俺らだけで突入とか無謀だと思わねえの？
Heisuke frowned, and Takeda, who was on standby behind Heisuke, nodded in agreement.
この人数で踏み込むなど
Fucking
無謀な
Takeda!
ことがある。ここは会津藩の援軍を待つべきかと。
Pretty as hell, with a nice deep voice. But I don't trust this man either.
武田君がそう言うなら分かった。もう少しだけ待ってみよう。
But no matter how long we waited, the officials never came. Hour of the boar. I looked up at the sky. The moon inched itself further across the sky since we arrived at the Ikeda Inn.
さすがにこれはちょっと遅すぎるな。
近藤さん、どうします？これでミスミス逃がしちゃったら無様ですよ。
The chief had been quiet all this time, but when Okita addressed him, he finally stood up to speak.
これ以上は待てん。宗司、長倉君、東堂君、俺についてきてくれ。
Okita nodded quietly but firmly.
では、私は表口を固めますから、皆さんご存分にどうぞ。
は？武田さん来ないつもりかよ。
いいからいいから。中が暗くて間違って切られても困るし。あ、こっちが間違って切っちゃ
You're
うかも。
such a little shit. I love it.
沖田君、それはどういうことかな？
まあまあ、突っ込むのは気心が知れた方がいいだろう。というわけだから、武田さんは外を頼むぜ。
雪村君、少し池田屋から離れていてくれるか。ここは危険だ。老子が降りてくるかもしれん。
You'll be meeting my husbando soon. Oh, your husbando? Oh, interesting. Alright. He stood up, smiled curtly, and ran to the inn.
会津中将をわずかに老子隊新選組、戦意のため宿内を改める。
His declaration was met with a cacophony of yells and screams erupting from out of the inn.
わざわざ大声で討ち入りを知らせちゃうとか、すごく近藤さんらしいよね。
いいんじゃねえの？正々堂々名乗りを上げる。それが討ち入りの定石ってもんだ。
自分をわざわざ不利な状況に追い込むのが新八さんの言う定石？
Heisuke and Nagakura grinned at one another as they sauntered towards the inn.
御用改めである。手向かいすれば容赦なく切り捨てる。
Then the battle began in earnest. The yells of men and the clang of swords filled the air, rolling out through the doors and windows of the inn. I heard feet pound upstairs, the screams of men dying, the wet thud of bodies dropping to the floor. Technically me, but I can't really do anything. Please don't go in there. Well, there was someone, but all the men who come with the captains ran around the back and couldn't hear Nagakura. Takeda, on the other hand, was stationed outside to arrest anyone trying to flee the building. What should I do? The only person left to go help them was me. But even if I did, what could I do? That was when I heard Kondo. Nagakura called out from somewhere else in the inn. God damn it, can y'all not? I can't do anything, I'm just a civilian. I had no desire to enter a slaughterhouse with men killing one another. Even if I did, I had no illusions about my skill with the blade. I am useless. I am a useless person in this situation. I was sure to be killed before I even drawn it. But I could hardly stand around doing nothing. Oh my god, we're so stupid. We're so stupid. I know we want to help, but oh my god. Y'all, I can't do anything. Perhaps if I couldn't fight, I could rescue the wounded, find them, and carry them out of the inn. I made up my mind, steeled myself, and ran inside. The things we do for Ikemen, right? I want my husbandos, so I have to go into this building full of guys killing each other. Inside, it was pitch black. The smell of blood hit me in the stomach like a fist, filling the air. There were dark lumps on the floor everywhere, the bodies of fallen men. Where were Okita and Heisuke? It sounded like a good idea at the time, but as I looked around the charnel house, I realized there is no way I could carry 2 men outside. Hello? We're so small, aren't we? I don't think we have the body mass to even carry a single man outside this building. We can attempt to drag him, but that would take forever and draw attention. What should I do? So this is Okita, so we gotta look for Okita. And we gotta hope nothing goes wrong, right? I decided I had to look for Okita. I knew I caused trouble for him during the noon patrols, but he never called me out for it. It seemed only fair that I could try to return the favor. Huh? A Ronin came out of nowhere, falling down the stairs and screaming. My Kodachi was in my hand before I even realized I'd drawn it. This is the thing! Hold on, I think I know this place. Oh shit! The Kondo sword slid through his heart. Oh, Kondo really said, I'm taking out this man. No mercy? Oh, Kondo, wait, Kondo. He probably saw me then. Please do not yell at me. I am just trying to help. I am just a single magical girl attempting to help and... I just watched a man die. He did his best to act calmly, but I could tell my appearance had both surprised and worried him. Oh my god, if Kondo ends up dying for us, I'm gonna cry. Oh, okay, we're good. We got permission, so if we're ever reprimanded, we can just say, Kondo gave us permission to help Soji, so it's totally fine. Yes, sir. I nodded quickly and ran off through the carnage. He's upstairs? I took them 2 at a time and laid it hard on the top floor. It didn't take long to spot him. Is this who you're talking about? He's kind of hot. What the? No! Don't show me any more hot guys. Mandy. Oh, Suraken? Oh no. Oh no. Honestly, he sort of reminds me of kind of Gilgamesh from Fate, just a little. Oh my god, I cannot. Suraken? Only a few feet from me, Okita was battling a Ronin. I felt my stomach lurch. I cannot. He's so sexy too. He has that look at it, bruh, and the red eyes. The cold ring of steel against steel tore through the air, and their blades flashed, lines of light in the darkness. Oh my god, Suraken! Oh, Suraken, hello, sir. The strange Ronin's eyes narrowed, and his mouth curved into a smug smile. Who is it? Hello! I haven't played Hakuoki before, so lurking plus I work. Hope you're having a good day. Yes, I am! Thank you! Thank you for lurking and stopping by. I am having so much fun replaying Hakuoki again. Oh my god, there's so many hot guys, and death is happening all around us. What more could we want? I seen Okita train with soldiers, and his skill with the blade had been clear, but this Ronin... The way he dodged, parried, and slowly drove Okita back seemed almost effortless. Thanks for the dance, chump. Who calls anyone a chump these days? The blood and the violence that was choking the inn had no effect on him, it seemed. He seems very used to this. Oh man, I'm loving him so much too. He was so peaceful, in fact, that he hardly looked like he belonged in the middle of all the carnage.
悪いけど返せないんだ。僕たちの敵には死んでもらわなくちゃ。
A smile split his face for a half second, and then he launched himself at the Ronin. Their swords slammed together. To my untrained eye, it looked as though the Ronin was a self-taught swordsman. His sword moved in large, crude arcs, while Okita responded with skill and finesse. In a contest of skill, Okita would have been the clear winner, but... As their blades sprang apart, it was always Okita who found himself pushed back. The Ronin's sword was heavy, but fast. It was clear he was Okita's superior in raw power. The summer heat had turned the air thick and humid. I could barely breathe. Sweat poured down my spine and beaded on my face as quickly as I could wipe it off. Oh, okay, I think we're supposed to distract here. Let me get the walkthrough. Alright, distract the Ronin. Alright, I don't know how we're gonna do this. Hopefully he doesn't try and slice us open. Nearby, a bowl sat unattended on the floor. If I could use that to distract the Ronin briefly, it could give Okita the opening he needed. With every ounce of strength I had, I hurled the bowl straight at the Ronin. Oh? Almost without thinking, he turned his blade and smashed the bowl to the floor. The moment of distraction gave Okita his opening. He leapt forward. Even caught off guard, the Ronin managed to get his blade up in time, but the blow sent him stumbling back a step or two, an angry look on his face. As Okita lifted his sword towards his opponent, he whispered in a voice so only I could hear it. Eee! I'm sorry, that lied! Hold on, wait, hold on, I want to bring back the light up, hold on. How was it? W? There we go! Can you... This one? Go down? Can you say that one again? How do I do this? Okay. There we go! Yes, please. Please praise me one more time. Okay, one more. For real, one more. I'm so weak. I knew now wasn't the time to rig it up, but I'm glad I've been able to help. My kink, right? Praise kink. Praise kink, man. Just give me head pats. Call me a good girl. The strange Ronin sword whipped through the air, little more than a silvery blur. Okita accepted the blow with his sword. However, the opponent's blow from above was too powerful. Okita stumbled ever so slightly, but the man did not miss his opportunity. Okita, I swear! The Ronin's foot slammed the center of Okita's chest. The source of his tremendous strength apparently extended to his legs as well as his sword arm. I heard a wet crunch as the kick connected, and Okita tumbled across the floor of the room. When he stopped, I saw him grip his chest and cough. Okita? Sir? I leapt across the room. Are you alright? I mean, it doesn't look like he's alright, but... His face was tight with pain. The most he could manage was labored gasps and wet tearing coughs. Okita was in no condition to fight. As I struggled to move myself under his arm to lift him up, I glared at the strange droning. Oh, no. I am not a fighter. I am legit just the messenger at this point. I watched the tip of his blade drift up to me. Yo, first Lottie stream I've been able to catch. Nothing like fictional guys to cheer one up. Yeah, welcome, Mira. Welcome. Yes, fictional guys. Look at him. He's an enemy, but he's always sexy. They always make the enemy guys sexy, and you want everything about them. With a groan of pain, Okita lifted himself up and stumbled between me and the Ronin. Oh, he does? Oh, hell yeah. Alright. Okita, sir. There was a good chance he had broken bones, and if he was coughing up blood, then his internal organs could be damaged as well. He could barely stand, let alone fight, and he was making no attempts at hiding it. But he stood firm. The Ronin sneered. Oh, Suda Kim. New flecks of blood appeared as he shouted. Stop that! You're still coughing up blood! The Ronin regarded us with a cool, disinterested eyes for a few moments. Then in one smooth motion, lifted his sword and slid it into his scabbard. What? Oh, he's just gonna leave? Okay. Oh, that's gotta be a blow to the ego. His aloofness was amplified by the satisfaction he drew with every word. He placed his foot out of the window, cackling to himself as he jumped through gracefully. Did he just run? No, he hadn't ran. He was letting us go. Honestly, facts. This man said, I'll let you guys live for a few more days. Okay, liar. Okita, sir, come on now. His voice was weak. Why did you do that? Okita turned his head to look at me. You always said you'd kill me if I got in your way. So why had he protected me? He raised a shaky eyebrow. Oh, even he doesn't know? Oh, when you're slowly falling in love with someone and you don't even know it. His words were already slurring. Please pass out. Please pass out. There we go. Okay, we're good. He's just resting. He just needs some rest, right? His eyes fluttered and his body folded as he collapsed to the floor. Huh? I've been so worried about Okita, I hadn't noticed. The sounds of the screaming men and clattering swords had disappeared. Is it over? I'm now thinking of Hikaru's I'm gonna play Okita line in that one episode of B Project. Oh my god, that reminds me, I gotta buy the Switch game for B Project one day. Maybe this month? Maybe I'll treat myself to that. But oh my god, I haven't checked up on anything in B Project in forever. I still have not watched the second season of the anime yet. I'll get to it eventually. The moment the words were out of my mouth, I heard the sound of labored footsteps on the stairs. Finally, the sun rose from the black sky. The raid itself had lasted only 2 hours. But for me, at least, it had felt far longer. There had been 20 Imperial nationalists at the Okita Inn. The Shinsengumi had killed 7 Ronin and injured 4 more. I learned later that, with the help of the Aizu domain and the Kyoto Judiciary Commissionary, they arrested 23 people. the owner of the Ikeda Inn, had also been arrested for trying to help the Choshu rebels escape. The Shinsengumi had run an incredible victory, fighting against superior numbers in an enemy territory, but they paid dearly for it. Yeah, I know no one got out there unscathed. Unscathed? Okita had taken a blow to the chest and lost consciousness. Heisuke had been cut on the forehead, and the bleeding refused to stop. Nagakura had injured his left hand. One of the Shinsengumi soldiers lost his life at the inn's rear entrance, and 2 others were severely injured there as well. There's gonna be a 3rd season. Oh my god, a 3rd season? Then I gotta quickly watch the 2nd season before that airs. It didn't seem likely that they would survive. The Kyoto military and judiciary commissionaries also fought the Choshu Ronin. With their successful resolution of the Battle of the Ikeda Inn, the Shinsengumi had, at last, made a name for themselves. It looked as though the peace in Kyoto had been protected. Never could I have imagined what the ultimate result of their victory would be. Alright, we're now in July. Still summer. End of July, 1864. Weeks passed since the Battle of the Ikeda Inn. In the meantime, the Shinsengumi grew stricter during their rounds to arrest the numerous outlaw Ronin that escaped from the Ikeda Inn. Rumors surfaced of extremists who were plotting to exact revenge on the Shinsengumi. Additionally, there were also problems occurring with warriors spanning from other domains, making things tense around the headquarters. Things were finally settling down. As a result of my efforts during the battle, they grew more encouraging of my involvement. The Shinsengumi allowed me to sweep the area in front of the headquarters of my own. One day, I was cleaning the courtyard with a broom when I heard gentle footsteps approaching me.
すみません。こちらが新選組の屯所ですか?
Is that? Oh yeah, is that Mamo-chan? The voice came from behind me, so I was caught off guard when answering.
君は
Me? Huh? Oh, I thought so. Mamo-chan is so easy to tell. He has that nice, soft, fluffy voice. Hijikata showed up suddenly, as if he telepathically knew I was speaking to someone. Oh, Hijikata, this man is... Before I could finish my sentence, the man ran towards Hijikata.
あ、やっぱりトシさん。
Oh,
八郎です。
Mamo-chan!
お久しぶりです。
おめえは八郎か。なんだってこんなところにいるんだ。
When Hijikata realized who it was, his eyes grew wide.
驚きました。
Oh, Mamo-chan has such a wonderful voice.
それより新選組って本当にトシさんたちのことだったんですね。
I hated his character's route, most like it, but hearing his voice was so often was nice. Alright, so he has his own route too.
この目で見るまでは信じられなかったけど。おめでとうございます。本当に侍になれたんですね。
おい、冷やかすなよ。まだ扱いは浪人と同じなんだからよ。
でも侍になりたいって夢が叶ったじゃないですか。
Oh my god, I love his look, honestly. I like the, what's the word? The curly, fluffy type hair like that.
冷やかすなって言って
Honestly,
んだろ。
ponytails are hot too.
いいえ、江戸じゃ泣く子も黙る新選組といったらとても有名なんですよ。それに池田屋の話も聞いています。
Oh, there's 12 routes. Okay. When I first got my Vita, I only played Kyoto Winds. I didn't play anything past that. And I think I only did like 3 routes total, honestly.
ま、ぼちぼちってところだ。
Blushing Hijikata. How very unlike himself, Hijikata seemed to be flustered and his cheeks were rosy. Judging from their conversation, it appeared that this gentleman had come to visit Hijikata. The rhythm of their rapport seemed to suggest that they had been friends for quite some time. Once I verified their conversation had come to a halt, I mustered the courage to speak to Hijikata. Hijikata, may I ask who this is?
そうか。お前は初めてだったな。
まだ名乗っていませんでしたね。僕、伊庭八郎と言います。幕府直参旗本で大番士奥詰役を務めています。
Okazume of the Obanashi. The way they toss out all these words. I'll look at terminology later. Oh, I'm Lottie Yukimura.
改めてよろしくお願いします。
Oh, yes. Nice to meet you too. As soon as Iba and I finished our introductions, Hijikata was inclined to get us indoors.
まあ立ち話もなんだ。中に入ってくれ。
I took tea to the two in the hall. Hijikata told me to remain there, so I decided to listen in.
今日に来たのは奥詰めの仕事ってわけか。ずいぶんと出世したみてえだな。
In Okuzume? I listened intently, but subtly, since I was unfamiliar with the contents of their conversation.
奥詰めってのはな、将軍の身辺を守る奴らのことだ。
Oh, wow! I'm honored to meet such a man!
いえいえ、そんなことありません。父の仕事の縁でたまたまなんです。
But what would bring a man of his stature here, Hijikata? This man Iba was someone who worked directly with the shogun. What an honor! It made no sense why he would interact with the Shinsengumi, or why he had business with us.
お前の考えてることはわかるぜ。
Not like that, not like that, I swear. I did my best to nod without offending him.
こいつはな、旗本であると同時に、江戸じゃ4本指に入る道場の一つ。
Oh, thanks for telling me things I don't even know anything about.
その伊庭道場と俺たちがいた道場とはそこそこ交流があってな。その
ええ、そうなんです。だからトシさんたちがいる今日に来ることになってとても楽しみにしていたんです。
勝手に喜んでろ。だが覚えとけよ。今日はそんなに楽しいところじゃねえからな。
はい、肝に銘じておきます。でもそんなに危険なのに女の子でも大使が務まるんですか？
Iba glanced at me when he asked this question before looking to Hijikata. I gasped and cut my hands over my mouth, and Hijikata's eyes darted toward me sternly. It would seem Iba picked up on the fact I was female, judging by their interaction.
もしかして秘密だったんですか？
Yes, Himitsu. I didn't want to confirm any answers, so I started towards the mat underneath without speaking.
こいつはちょいと訳ありで預かってて、表向きは男ってことになってる。新選組でも一部の奴らしか知らないことだ。だから、ここでも下手なことを口にしないでくれ。
わかりました。トシさんがそう言うなら守りますよ。
Iba drew Hijikata in closer in a jovial manner, and Hijikata blushed at the notion. And this is how the BL fangirls come to be. Right here, these cute little interactions. Hijikata is normally really uptight, so seeing him behave this way was startling. I had a lingering suspicion that Hijikata was actually enjoying himself. All the commotion must have alerted the captains because they popped up from nowhere.
おいおい、八郎じゃねえか。
聞いたことがある声だと思ったらお前だったのか。
新八さん、原田さん、それに皆さんもお久しぶりです。
そうか、お前も今日に来たのか。武者修行か、それとも狂犬物か。
Or as they should, we love BL in this household. Right? Honestly, any cute little interaction if they love or hate each other, that's how BL fangirls and fanboys and whoever are born.
まあ、はい。そういうところです。
Drink juice, yes, I have lemonade with a whole bunch of sugar in it.
あんたが今日に来るとなると、それなりの職務に就いたということか。
Literally step on the gas, right? Iba nodded plainly in response.
君も今日に来たんだ。ま、死なない程度に気をつけなよ。
God, Okita, his lines sometimes kill me. Just the way he talks towards people.
助言ありがとう。覚えておきます。
じゃあ今度飲みに行くか。なんなら今からでもいいんだぜ。
Each of the captains surrounded Iba and exchanged words. Most of all, Iba seemed lost in the amount of fun he had while conversing with everyone. I guess he really knew everyone back in Edo. Hijikata watched the interaction with warmth in his eyes and muttered, Man's really said don't die. Bro, right? He said don't get yourself killed here. We still like you. He seemed to be especially fond of Hijikata though. But I couldn't dare say that. Understood. Bro, he really said if my boyfriend comes in here, make sure to invite him in and let me know. Before we knew it, evening had come, and Iba told us it was time for him to depart.
それじゃあまたね。
Bye! His face seemed reluctant, if not a little forlorn, and he left the compound. He doesn't want to leave! You can stay! What's that? The scene from Mulan where the grandma said, you want to stay forever. That's it right here. Eva, you can stay forever. I stared at him as he walked into the distance until a small figure was removed from my eyes. Eva was a mysterious person. Even if he was someone very important and upper class, he acted with integrity and kindness, commanding a lot of respect from the captains of the Shinsengumi. I did not think there were a samurai like him in the shogunate. Shogunate? Nasu. Alright, I'm trying to... Alright, we're already in August. Time really flies by in this game, honestly. It's kind of weird. August 1864. After the fight at the inn, I was able to leave the compound much more often. I suppose after what I'd done, Hijikata thought I earned a little more trust. I didn't feel like I did anything extraordinary, but I wasn't about to look a gift horse in the mouth. I was genuinely happy that the man, Hijikata, approved of me. On this particular day, I was out on patrol with Harada and the 10th Division. Excuse me, Harada? The Shinsengumi is out patrolling day and night, right? But what exactly is it that you do? Most of the men in the Shinsengumi were intimidating, death-dealing titans, but Harada was a rare exception, warm and friendly. Ah, okay. Kinda like the police, basically. Their own little police force. People who don't pay for food? It wasn't really the answer I'd expected. I guess the Shinsengumi's jobs is closer to a magistrate's than I thought. Thinking back, I remembered how excited they were during the raid. What they did at the end was far more intense than their day-to-day work. A little further down the road, a couple of men in Shinsengumi blues were waving at us. Nagakura! I guess our separate rounds brought us to the same spot.
よう、親父さんの情報、なんか手に入ったか？
No, nothing today.
なんか来かすんなって。今日がダメでも明日がある。そうだろ？
Yeah, you're right. There was something contagious about his optimism.
で、シンパチ、そっちはどうだ？何か異常でもあったか？
いや、なんも。けど、やっぱり町人たちの様子がせわしねえな。
I hadn't noticed it before, but he was right. They were acting strange, almost nervous. Yeah, it looks like they're getting ready to move.
ああ、戦火に巻き込まれる前に今日から避難し始めてるってとこか。
What? War? There wasn't a war, was there? Please do not let there be a war. I cannot handle a damn war right now.
そういや、まだ教えていなかったな。
Please no.
長州の奴らが今日に集まってきてんだよ。その関係で、俺らも警戒強化中ってわけだ。
池田屋の件で長州を怒らせちまったからな。あいつらの仲間から犠牲が出ちまったし、黙ってられないんだろうよ。
Were the Choshu going to try something again?
さあな。まだはっきりしたことはわからね
え。It would be nice if they didn't try anything.
どっちにせよ、俺たちは俺たちの仕事をする。長州の連中が今日に来ても追い返すだけさ。
They accepted their situation and never complained. I had a good deal of respect for Harada and Nagakura.
長州と戦か。もしかすると近いうちに上から出動命令が出るかもしれねえな。
So, you think that Aizu will give you all the orders?
ああ、正式に幕府の一部隊として参加することになるかもな。
そんな機会めったにないからな。せっかくだからお前も出てみるか。
Wanna join? Huh? I was perplexed by his sudden invitation. Does this mean I could march as a member of the Shinsengumi? It seemed rather inappropriate for me to ask to participate just for curiosity's sake. Still, I very much hope to be helpful in some way. Could I perhaps do something like what I'd done at the Ikeda Inn? However, there's also the chance that I could become a hindrance as opposed to helping them out. It says stay behind. So hopefully this walkthrough helps us, because it says we have to stay behind. I'll stay behind. I don't want to go back again, honestly. Harada seemed to possess a still heart, garnering a voice that was slow but at peace. He didn't respond to my words, but he kindly smiled. Part of me felt safer leaving, just to avoid being in someone's way. But I also wanted to stay here, appreciating this moment of peace for once. Although, how could I justify participating when I wasn't a true member of the Shinsengumi? And plus, us helping out the last time probably won't happen again a second time, so we probably would be a burden, honestly. I bottled up my feelings of the contemplation, and I just returned to the headquarters. A few days passed. Your medicine's ready. I was carrying medicine and some hot sake. Sake? The medicine was Ishida medicinal powder, which was manufactured by Hijikata's family.
宗次と平助に飲ませてやってくれ。それから三男さんにもだ。
Are they gonna take the sake and the medicine at the same time? I'm pretty sure, at least in modern times, you're not supposed to take, like, pills and stuff with drinks. But I guess it was okay back then. Sanan's eyebrows rose at the mention of his name.
おや、私も飲むんですか？私の傷はもう塞がっていますよ。
試してみましょうよ、三男さん。この薬って何にでも効くらしいですから。
Suspicious medicine. Can I get some facts? I think like when they give you medicine, they give you the whole list of what's the word? Side effects and what it does. I need something like that first, please. Sanan rolled his eyes, but reached over to take his portion of the medicine and sake. They're really taking this medicine with alcohol? He had been telling the truth, though. His injuries are healed, at least much as they were going to, but his arms still refused to work properly. It was slowly becoming clear that it would probably never work properly again.
石田三役は熱燗で飲むのが粋だよな。羨ましいぞお前ら。
羨ましいなら飲めばいいだろ。新発音だって怪我人じゃねえか。
酒は飲みてえが、残念なことに俺の怪我はもう治っちまってるんだよな。
Nagakura was injured at the Ikeda Inn, but he recently declared that he was completely healed, despite the fact his wound still looks painful. You can't just declare you're healed and it's not perfect. I heard he had convinced Hijikata that his wounds weren't as bad as Okita's or Heisuke's. Sir, he really said, I declare my injuries are perfectly fine now, despite it not looking it. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. No? Not yet?
しかし、宗司と東堂君が怪我をするとはね。
あれは池田屋が暗かったから、普段の戦いなら遅れは取らないって。
Making up excuses, but it's fine because he is cute.
横合いから急に殴られたんだよ。おかげで八金なんて真っ二つだしさ。
拳で八金を割るか。随分と豪気な奴がいるもんだ。
Heisuke muttered something bitter and angry under his breath, but Harada just laughed.
あとなんだっけ、宗司から逃げ切ったやつもいたしな。
Okita only smiled quietly as Nagakura gestured towards him.
次があれば絶対に逃がしませんよ。次に勝つのは僕ですから。
That feels like a promise, honestly. Everyone began to share their experience at the inn. Saito, however, remained silent. Is there something bothering you? I kept my voice low so as not to interrupt any of the other men and their conversations.
宗司らを負傷させるほどの実力者があの夜池田屋にいた理由を考えていた。長州のものではないと言ったそうだが、池田屋も人払いはしていたはずだ。
Probably hired men? Oh.
池田屋の人間と老子たちの目を盗み、何らかの目的で侵入したか。目的は違えども、行動を共にしていたのか。今確実にわかるのは、奴らが相当の実力者だということだけだ。
Ah, okay. 2 men. So we met one because we chose to go with Okita. If we went to check on Heisuke, we would have met the other guy. Alright. The sliding door suddenly flew open as Saito finished his sentence and Kondo appeared.
会津藩から伝令が届いた。
Oh! As all conversation ceased, eyes turned to Kondo.
長州の襲撃に備え、我ら新選組も出陣するよう仰せだ。
A cheer went up from everyone's present.
ついに来たか。待ちかねたぜ。
残念だったな、平助。
怪
我人はさすがに不参加だよな。
I'll keep you company.
でもせっかくの晴れ舞台だし。
He turned to Hijikata, clearly hoping that the commander might give him special leave to go.
不参加に決まってんだろう。おとなしく電車で留守をしてやがれ。
土方さん、鬼！この鬼副長！
なんだ？そりゃ褒めてんのか。つまきにされたくなきゃ黙ってろ。
Heisuke's mouth snapped shut. I didn't think Hijikata would actually stab one of his own men, but neither did I think he would go easy on any of them, even if they were injured. I can just imagine him just tossing this man through a wall.
怪我人は足手まといらしいですから、素直に屯所で留守をしましょう。
Sana.
仕方がねえか。わかった。今回は留守番してるよ。
僕も今回は諦めようかな。参加したいけど本調子じゃないし。ちょっと外で涼んでこようかな。
Okita sighed and got up to leave. I assume I'll be staying here as well. Kondo nodded. Oh, thank God.
ああ、掃除と平助がダダをこねんよう見張っておいてくれ。
Okay, I'm like the little cheerleader then. I gotta make sure everyone's all happy. He let out a short laugh, and several men grinned. Before long, the Shinsengumi had left for the front, leaving only a handful of soldiers in the silent compound. So, what should I be doing when they're out? All right. Kondo had asked me to keep an eye on Okita and Heisuke. I think Okita was in the inner courtyard. To be honest, I was a little concerned for him. He was still recovering, and being out in the cold air wasn't doing him any favors in that regard. Still, that left Heisuke and Sanan. Maybe they're still in the common room. Heisuke seemed particularly frustrated at being forced to stay behind, and Sanan had been even colder and more distant lately. I was worried for Okita, of course, but I felt there was something deeper affecting the other two. What should I go? Alright, and we go inner courtyard because we want to get to Okita. Hug scene? Nice little love scene? For a midsummer afternoon, the air was pleasant, making the courtyard a pleasant place to sit. He was sitting off in the corner in the shade, gazing up at the summer sky. It doesn't honestly look like it's a bit dark, but I guess I'll take the word for it. Oh wait, it says summer sky, not night sky. Never mind. Hold on, I can't read properly, never mind. I turned to look as well. It was a brilliant blue, and a distant breeze pushed white wisps of cloud at both ends. How long was it since I last looked up at the sky? Far too long, I thought, as I stretched out my arms up, soaking in the sunshine and cool, clear air. Then at last, I turned back to where Okita was, or perhaps had been, sitting. While I'd been enjoying the summer sky, he approached me, and now he was running for the V. Oh, sir, please don't. My body stiffened, and I felt my eyes widen. He raised a quizzical eyebrow.
僕のことなら心配しなくていいよ。豚舎を脱走する予定とか別にないから。
That's not what I'm worried about. True, he didn't seem like he was desperate to leave and join the fight, unlike Heisuke.
いいけどね。でもそれ違う心配はしてたってこと？
His mouth twisted into a small smile. I decided to tell him. You're still not in the best condition. It isn't good for you to be out in the cold for too long.
心配してくれてたんだ。ありがとう。風に当たるのはほどほどにして部屋に戻るよ。
Okita had always seemed a little mean. Until that moment, I would never have thought I'd hear him thank me for worrying about him. I wasn't sure what to say. Both of us appeared to have run out of things to say, and silence fell across the courtyard. I didn't want to scold him and then simply leave from my room, but there had to be something thoughtful I could say. I hope your injuries heal soon. Not that. Okita laid his hand on his chest absently and looked across the courtyard at nothing.
刀傷じゃないしね。治るのは早いと思う。だから僕の方は大丈夫なんだけど。
He was right, and that should have given me cause for joy, but his face didn't change. He blinked and looked back down at me. Are you, thinking about Sanan? He made a point to say you, although he left it unsaid. I could see he was worrying about the man we both knew wouldn't be fine.
「
I could see he was worrying about the man we both knew wouldn't be fine.
いいけどね。でもそれ違う心配はしてたってこと？
I could see he was worrying about the man we both knew wouldn't be fine. Sanan's arm wasn't going to heal, at least not completely. It would never again hold a sword. Okita said nothing. He cocked his head and smiled. I felt my cheeks getting warmer from blushing. Sorry if I was being too nosy. I apologized, but he warmed up and shook his head from left to right. I couldn't tell what his intentions were. Okita's smile deepened just a little.
君ってちょっと変だよね。
Weird? Maybe I looked upset, but he called me weird. For no reason.
本当に変だよ。僕のことなんて心配する必要ないのに。怪我をしたのは自業自得なんだから。
What? No, you shouldn't blame yourself. Okita hadn't done anything wrong. He followed his orders and did the best he could. I didn't see how he could say what happened was his fault. When I looked up, his smile was gone, and I couldn't bring myself to say anything more. He glanced down at me, then looked up at the sky.
今日の空、綺麗だよね。
Mm-hmm. The midsummer sun shone down. I felt a breath of warmth in the cool air. White clouds danced across the blue expanse, flying gracefully. Where were the men who marched off earlier now, I wondered. The Choshu's extremists' attempted attack on the imperial estate eventually came to be known as the Hamaguri Rebellion. Although the Shinsengumi were called to action, their efforts were stymied, and they found little in the way of glory. Communications with their superiors was poor at the best, and they spent much of the battle waiting with the reserves. Oh, so they didn't get to see much action at all? When the Shinsengumi finally entered the battle, each man found several strange opponents awaiting him. Ah, there he is! Chikage Kazama, who defeated Okita at Ikeda, claimed to be from the Satsuma domain during his encounter with Hijikata. Kyuju Amagiri, the man who shattered Heisuke's headguard at Ikeda, also claimed membership in the Satsuma. They also met Kyo Shiranui, who'd fought alongside men from Choshu. Whoever they were, it was clear they were not allies of the Shinsengumi. Indeed, it seemed they could easily become some of its greatest enemies. If they were to meet in open battle, the casualties would be severe. By the time the battle was over, the commanders of the Kyushu attacked had been killed in the fighting, or took their own lives. There were some soldiers, however, who escaped, setting Kyoto ablaze as they fled. By some terrible misfortunes, winds that day blew from the north and fanned the flames, reducing the southern end of the imperial estate to ash. Jesus Christ! Okay. Oh no, don't save. Go away. As a result of the Chushu attack, many imperial nationalists were executed. With the Hamaguri rebellion over, the Choshu were branded as traitors for attacking the estate. From then on, they were acknowledged enemies of the court. A lot of shit happening, man. I can't keep up. Alright. Jeez, we're in November, so they skipped July all the way up to November. It's almost been a whole year now. November 1864. Summer turned into autumn, and the Imperials kept quiet. Despite my regular presence in the Shinsengumi rounds, no news of my father came in that time. Days passed peacefully, one after another. The leaves were dancing on the wind one evening as I busied myself with cleaning. Alright, almost done. Gradually, I've been given more and more freedom to move around the compound. I was given a few duties to manage, and as long as I was doing them, I could go wherever I needed. On the days that I couldn't go on rounds, I've been helping around at the compound.
Yo! 今日も精が出るな。
Oh, hello. I set down my work and turned towards him.
そろそろ日も暮れるし、適当に終わらせとけよ。
ほんと真面目だよな。毎日こんな遅くまでさ。
Are you on your way out?
ま、俺らもお勤めにな。
Really? They weren't wearing their uniforms. That meant they weren't going on their rounds. Oh, I get it.
ああ、島原までちょっとな。朝には帰るから心配いらねえ。
Are they going drinking?
一応言っとくけどな。もちろん飲むだけだ。
Wait, is he thinking they're going to get like prostitutes or something? I think that's what he's trying to think. Just drinks, nothing else.
女目当てで行きたがるのは新八さんくらいだ。
There we go. Okay.
おい、ヘスケ。何も女の子。
Oh, okay. Okay, Nagakura. Alright. So you are.
それは。
なあ。Judging.
とにかくあとは頼むわ。土方さんが俺らを探してたらうまくごまかしといてくれ。
Just make something up? I'm not lying for you. Huh? They left me with a difficult task. Anyway, I need to go finish cleaning up the courtyard. Can I pretend we never had that conversation if no one besides them was there? And if Hijikata ever asks, oh, I haven't seen them all day, I'm honestly not sure where they went. It was almost time for dinner, and I wanted to be done before I had to eat. I was dumping out the leaves I've gathered when... Huh? I could hear some kind of commotion coming from outside of the house. What is that? Sound like girls? Sounds like some giggling girls. I quickly put the broom away and hurried toward the entrance. Gathered just inside the front gate were about... Oh, it's children! Okay, 10 children. Standing in the middle of them was... Okita?
あれ君が玄関の外に出てくるなんて珍しいよね。
You can handle kids? Hello? What are you doing? Who are these children?
誘拐とかじゃないし、安心してくれていいよ。
I wasn't thinking you kidnapped them, but now I kinda am.
ちょうど暇だったから遊んでもらってるとこ。
What grown man does that? I wasn't sure how to respond, but Okita grinned. So, are they all your friends? Nakama? Tomodachi?
そんな感じかな。
They take care of you? That's what a kidnapper... Right? Hey, it's not what it looks like. I didn't kidnap these kids. Are you sure? Oh. Usually, adults play with kids, not the other way around. Although making kids play with him did seem like something Okita would do. I need an explanation.
もしかして僕たちと一緒に遊びたい？
What are we doing? No? I shook my head. I don't go. What's going on? Is it really okay for you to let children in here?
土方さんに見つかったらまず間違いなく。
Oh my god, he's not even allowed to do this. He's kind of chaotic in his own way. I think he will definitely flip his shit.
以前の三男さんだったら一緒に遊んでくれただろうけど。
Sana's in on it too?
八つ当たりされそうかな。
Doesn't that mean there's a pretty good chance you're going to get in trouble? He just grinned.
他のみんなも怒りそうだしね。見逃してくれるのは。
Oh man, he's trying to do that sympathy shit on me. And then maybe you should send them home before you get caught. What? Why is this kid like this? This is the rudest child I have ever seen. Keep your nose out of our business. We can play wherever we want. Hello? So Lair, a child is bullying me. Right? Hello? These kids are so rude. I don't want any of this shit anymore. It looked like they were awfully fond of him. Could I really just leave them alone though? That didn't seem right either. I thought about it for a moment before I spoke. This is the headquarters of the Shinsengumi. It's a place you're meant to do, work. You really shouldn't be playing here.
掃除だって新選組なのに俺らと一緒に遊んでるよ。
Soji is a special case. Well, we're really trying to explain ourselves to a couple of rude children.
どうせ大した仕事してないんだろ。
At this point, I would have turned around and said, "Well, do whatever you want," and just walk back inside. No, but that's because they're out on patrol. They're catching bad guys and keeping Kyoto safe.
今日の平和がどうとか言ってるけど、評判は悪いよね。
Oh shit!
人斬りとか。
Oh my god. They're just killing people. What are these kids?
否定できないよね。僕たちは必要があれば人を切るのが仕事だし。
And Okita's like, yeah, we gotta off people every once in a while.
これでも無駄な殺しはしてないつもりだけど。
Bruh, they know this, but they're still hanging around Okita because he plays with them. I wasn't sure what to make of his smile. He always talked about killing people. I probably hear him talk about death every day. He is very fond of death for some reason. To be honest, I don't have any idea how he really feels about it. Is killing people a big deal from him? Or is it just something he does?
新選組なんて変なやつばっかり。俺らが命令される筋合いな
This
い
guy
よ。
is a murderer, but he gave me candy once? That's basically it. Oh my god. They're weirdos. What are these kids? These kids are very, very bold for no reason. Who are their parents? You might have a point. I guess you've got a point. I had to admit, he was a little convincing. I don't think they're bad people, but they are kind of rough, I guess.
でしょ。
The eyes is so awkward.
しかも新選組はよく島原通いしてるって父ちゃんが言ってた。
Well, based on what happened earlier, I couldn't deny that. Among the Shinsengumi, there were a few exemplary people, but I guess from the outside, they just knew how to attract trouble.
もしかしてすごい真面目に考えてる？
Well, I mean, the Shinsengumi is taking really good care of me. It feels wrong not to stick up for them, but...
本当のことばかり言われて言い訳のしようがない感
Right? This kid is debating me. Yeah, you can never argue with children, honestly. Yes?
じ。君ってちょっと素直すぎるよ。
You don't have to laugh at me.
そんなに慌てないでよ。別に責めてるわけじゃないから。むしろ全面的に同意かな。新選組は悪い印象を持たれても仕方ない集団だと思ってるし。
I had to wonder if it was really okay for him to say things like that in public. He didn't seem to care at all, but that just made me more worried.
ほら、やっぱり新選組って悪い奴らの集まりなんだろ。
Well, you got owned by children, but at least your man thinks you're funny, right? My ego has been bruised, but the affection for my husband though has gone up, so that's perfectly fine. No, that's not it at all. Try as I might, I couldn't just ignore them, even if they were children. Yes, I know a lot of them are kinda scary, but they're really not bad people.
怖い奴が善人なわけないだろ。むしろみんな悪人
Stop
面して
arguing
る
with the
し。
kids. I don't think so.
ほら、例えば土方さんとかいつも厳しい顔してるよね。眉間に深いシワ寄せてさ。
You do have a point.
それに三男さんだって笑顔が消えるとかなり怖い形相になるよ。
Well, yes, but he was siding with the children. I didn't know what else I was supposed to do. Well, I can't say they're not scary, but I was out of ideas. Kondo, the chief of the Shinsengumi, he's really nice and he's a good person. He wasn't just good compared to the rest of the Shinsengumi either. Anyone who meets Kondo instantly becomes charmed by his warm aura. But the children didn't seem convinced.
確か局長ってさ
No! They call Kondo dumb? What?
うんニコニコしながら散歩してるの見たけ
Oh
ど
my
さ
god. We cannot argue with kids.
なんか頼りない感じめちゃくちゃ
Bye y'all, bye y'all. But these kids are destroying the whole Shinsengumi without any trouble.
他のやつらの方がまだまともっぽそう
I think there's more to being in charge and looking like he can fight. Was that really how Kondo looked to them?
あんなのが局長だから新選組はダメなんだって
Stop it! Stop being so mean! You don't understand! Oh my god, the way we're still trying to argue with these kids. There is no winning in this argument. They are true pros at talking shit. You can never win anything against a child like that. They go for the heart. Honestly, kids are ruthless. They go crazy. Hold on. I remember going to a store one day and there was this little girl in line and then she pointed at some random lady and she was like, "Mama, why is she so big?" And I'm like, Jesus Christ. These kids have no tact. They don't understand. They probably do understand, but they don't honestly care. I took a step toward them, but Okita had an arm and smiled to me.
まあまあ君もちょっと落ち着こう
Bruh, these kids have hurt my pride and have basically destroyed the Shinsengumi just with their words.
相手は子供なんだしそんなに怒ることないよ
But
そうじそいつ無視して俺たちと遊ぼう
うんそうだね
Okita, sir! If my child says something like that, I would feel so bad and immediately apologize to the poor woman. Oh my god, there's so many videos of kids just being ruthless without even meaning it. I think there was one of a guy with his daughter and he was talking to her about who's her favorite person. She's like, "I like you, Dad." He's like, "Really? I like you too." She's like, "Yeah, but I like Mommy more than you." And I was like, what the fuck? And the dad just sits there and just kind of looks defeated because his daughter said that. Like, I don't think she meant any harm by her words, but Jesus Christ, just hearing your kids say something like that. The look on the dad's face, he's just sitting there like, yeah, alright then. He didn't even seem to have heard me and walked over to the children with a smile.
君はどんな遊びがしたいの高い高いとかどう
それでいいよ掃除って背が高いしさ
Bro, y'all had this man playing airplane with you?
うん身長がこんなことで役立つ
Kids,
なんて
bro, kids are something. Sometimes they can be so stupid and sometimes just so ruthless. He grabbed the child.
高い高い
Bro, what? Okita, could you play that with me? Just imagine Okita's hands around your waist and just lifting you up. Look at this damn smile. Bro, that's the kid that shit talked to us. He's on our hit list. He's on our hit list now. Okita grunted with effort and lifted the grinning child over his head. I had mixed feelings.
ほら楽しいいつもと違う高さってそれだけで面白いよね
Please be careful with him. How long was he planning to leave him up there? It was starting to feel like quite a... Are you just gonna keep the child lifted in the air?
あのさ掃除そろそろそいつ下ろしていいよ
遠慮しないでいいよ高い高いしてもらうの
Oh, can we not?
僕も昔
Oh,
は好きだった
they brought some childhood memories into this. Put the child down. I saw realization dawn on the child's face, and excitement quickly turned to fear. Jesus Christ! Is this his revenge for them shit talking about the Shinsengumi?
泣くほど喜ばなくて
Oh my god, Okita! He's a sadist! His voice was cold. Holy shit! Oh my god, no! Oh my, look at the look on his face! Bruh! That poor child is gonna be traumatized. I cannot. I cannot. Okita wasn't smiling anymore. Bruh, he made that child lower his guard. I blinked. Why was I just watching? Okita, please put the child down. Please stop that. He's just a child. Is it because he shit talked the Shinsengumi? You can please put him down. I'm sure he learned his lesson.
やだな。僕は遊んであげてるだけだよ。
That's not what it looks like. Bro, he's so childish himself.
君もどうして謝るのさ。遊んでもらったときは普通ありがとうだよね。
Okita, you're scaring him. Right, this man is so freaking petty for no reason. Bro, he really said, I'm about to make these kids regret everything they said. Oh my god. Reluctantly, Okita lowered the boy back down. I try my best to calm them down and then quickly send all of the children back home before Okita changed his mind. For real, my man said, alright, this kid's gonna get it. Bruh, Okita, sir. I thought you said they were your friends. Bruh, if that's true, you really shouldn't be bullying them like that. There we go, that's what I thought. My doggy is begging for walks with BRB. That's totally fine. Pet, give your doggy some pets. All the head pats for me. So Hijikata is fair game, but he draws the line at Kondo. I suppose that shows just how much Okita cares about him. Ah, so it wasn't just the Shinsengumi by itself, it was because of Kondo. And honestly, I would have done the same thing if I had any strength in my arms to lift up a kid like that. Kondo's so nice. But it's nothing, no reason. I mean, Kondo really is a wonderful man. He smiled widely and nodded vigorously. I was confused about how to respond to his pleased look. I hope you can make it up with them soon. I mean, they did apologize eventually. I don't think they're really bad kids. I smiled back at him. It cut both ways, but I admired Okita's honesty. The situation had been resolved more or less, but as I began to relax, I suddenly remembered. Oh, we're late for dinner! Oh, come on, we have to hurry. They're probably all angry at us. Okita just laughed. That damn smile with the eyebrow quirked. Okita enjoys teasing me, and well, everyone, and sometimes he can be really irritating. He's not a bad person. Sometimes, in his own way, he's even nice. Seeing how much he cared about Kondo made him less intimidating. I was lost in thought and fell behind, so I hurried after Okita and headed toward the main hall. Is this the end of chapter 2? I think it is! Hey, we finished chapter 2! So let me... Actually... Oh, we're gonna see him again? Oh, what was save again? Hold on. Menu was... I? Oh, hold on, I think I have to load the whole scene first. Hold on. So, there we go. Save. And we'll save in slots 4. Make sure. Yeah, okay. But thank you again, everyone, for stopping by, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Bye!